What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Houston Texans have signed 2 players to the practice squad and placed 1 player on their practice squad injured list. The Houston Texans have signed running back Larry Rountree, who they picked up at the end of the preseason from the Los Angeles Chargers, who was put on waivers and played in the last preseason game for the Houston Texans. He had a little bit over 30 rushing yards for the Houston Texans in the final preseason game, and showed some good stuff in the final preseason game for the Houston Texans. So the Texans are picking him up on the practice squad. I'm pretty sure this is the only running back that is currently on the Houston Texans practice squad right now. But the thing is that the Texans do have 4 running backs and 4 running backs, and they have 4 running backs, and they have 1 fullback on their 53-man roster, so they don't really only need 1 running back on their practice squad. So they've signed Larry Rountree, who is going into his 3rd season in the NFL, and he's a running back. And they signed safety Scott Nelson, who is going into his 2nd season in the NFL, and he went to Wisconsin to school. He's 6'2", and he's 24 years old and 205 pounds. I don't know much about Scott Nelson, but I do know Larry Rountree, solid running back, had a couple solid, decent seasons in Los Angeles. Didn't play much, but when he played, he was okay as a 3rd-string running back. And then came here to the preseason and did solid in the final preseason game for the Houston Texans. I don't think he played at all in the 2nd preseason game. He got signed to the Texans right before the 2nd preseason game against the Miami Dolphins. Didn't play at all, or maybe he got 1 carry and it was not a good carry. But then in the final preseason game, he got like 9 or 10 carries and got, I think it was 31 rushing yards against the New Orleans Saints in the preseason finale in New Orleans. So I think he showed some good stuff to the point where it was good enough for the Houston Texans to get him, a spot on this practice squad. Now the Texans have placed Brandon Hill, safety, who was a 7th round draft pick for the Houston Texans. And we drafted him from Pittsburgh. He didn't make the 53-man roster, but the Texans picked him up on the practice squad, and so Brandon Hill got injured, and he's going to be on the injured list on the practice squad. It's been a tough out. It's been tough for Brandon Hill because he was injured for most of camp and most of preseason, and now he's healthy again, and then gets hurt, and he'll be placed on the injury list for the practice squad. You guys let me know your thoughts on the transactions for the Texans. Let me know your thoughts on the Texans signing safety Scott Nelson and running back Larry Rountree and placing the following player, Brandon Hill, on the practice squad injured list. You guys let me know your thoughts, and peace out. Go Texans.